Prepare yourself, because the Foundation Season 3 trailer just dropped a psychic bomb on Hari Seldon's meticulously crafted universe. For 2 seasons, we've watched the Seldon plan unfold with the mathematical certainty of psychohistory, but this new footage confirms what we've all been dreading. The Mule has arrived, and he is not just a warlord, he is a force of chaos with the power to twist minds and rewrite destiny. The deep dive into the trailer reveals Seldon's vault being directly challenged, the Cleonic dynasty facing a threat that military might cannot stop, and Gaal Dornick finally stepping into her role as the one person capable of sensing this unprecedented anomaly. But is even her mentalic power a match for a being who can turn allies into enemies with a single thought? We'll break down every crucial shot, the escalating destruction of the first Foundation, the suspicious new faces who might be the Mule in disguise, and the chilling moment Hari Seldon's holographic self concedes that this one variable was never factored into his grand equation. This isn't just a crisis. This is the moment the most perfect plan in galactic history faces its first terrifyingly unpredictable failure. Will Hari's plan survive the psychological assault of the Mule, or is the 1,000-year road to the Second Galactic Empire about to be erased in a single chaotic season? The galaxy just shuddered. For 2 whole seasons, we've watched Hari Seldon's plan unfold like clockwork, the ultimate insurance policy for civilization, mathematically certain to shorten a dark age from 30,000 years down to a single millennium. It was elegant, it was perfect, it was the triumph of psychohistory until now. The new Foundation Season 3 trailer isn't just hinting at trouble, it's screaming that the ultimate anomaly, the one variable Seldon's equations couldn't possibly predict, has finally arrived. We're talking about the Mule. Forget the political intrigue of the Empire or the squabbles of the Foundation. The Mule is a force of nature, a psychic storm in human form, and the moment he steps onto the galactic stage, every established certainty in Seldon's universe dissolves. This trailer deep dive confirms that the comfortable road Seldon paved for the first Foundation is about to become a psychological battleground. We see flashes of utter devastation on Terminus, not just from war, but from confusion and betrayal. People are turning on each other, their minds twisted by a power they can't even comprehend. The key moment in the trailer, the one that sends a chill down your spine, is a shot of the vault on Terminus, not being attacked by a fleet, but being gazed upon by a figure shrouded in shadow, and the air around it seems to be shimmering, suggesting a psychic interference that no physical defense can counter. This immediately tells us that the Mule's primary target isn't the Foundation's hardware or its ships, but its faith in the plan itself. If he can mentally break the leaders and the citizens, Seldon's vision collapses instantly. The most vital question the trailer raises is, how will Gaal Dornick and Salvor Hardin stop a threat that they themselves barely understand? Remember, Gaal is the only known mentalic, a mind reader, besides Hari, and Salvor is the ultimate guardian of the plan. The footage strongly emphasizes Gaal's increasing discomfort and fear, suggesting she can feel the Mule's presence across vast distances, a psychic static unlike anything she's encountered before. There's a powerful scene where she clutches her head, images of destruction flickering behind her eyes, confirming that the Mule's mental signature is overwhelming, even to her. This aligns perfectly with the books, where the Mule is a devastatingly powerful aberration, a genetic fluke born with the ability to impose his emotions and will onto others, turning fear into fierce loyalty and love into sudden hatred, effectively building an empire simply by commanding the minds of his victims. Salvor, meanwhile, is shown organizing a desperate militaristic defense, but the camera lingers on her face as she watches her soldiers hesitate, maybe even point their weapons at each other, which hammers home the point that blasters won't work against a psychic attack. The trailer cleverly contrasts the rigid, established military structure of the Foundation with the fluid, chaotic, and internal threat posed by the Mule, setting up a massive confrontation where strength of mind, not strength of arms, will determine the victor. This is the ultimate test for the protectors of Seldon's legacy, forcing them to evolve from physical defenders into psychological strategists, and fast. And what about the Cleonic dynasty, The Empire, in all its golden, narcissistic splendor, is a massive component of this conflict, and the trailer hints at an internal crisis that perfectly sets the stage for the Mule's expansion. There are fleeting but critical shots of Brother Day looking visibly shaken, not by an external invasion, but by a sense of deep personal doubt or maybe even a sudden, uncharacteristic shift in his personality. This suggests that the Mule's influence isn't limited to the periphery. He might be reaching right into the heart of the galaxy. Imagine the Mule subtly manipulating one of the Cleons, perhaps Brother Dawn, planting seeds of dissent or radical ideas that destabilize the core of the Empire from within. The Empire is built on three certainties: the unbreakable chain of Cleon clones, the massive fleet, and the blind obedience of its people. If the Mule can shatter the mind of just one Cleon, the entire imperial structure, which Seldon believed would remain stable for centuries, will fracture, creating the very political and economic chaos that would allow his own rule to flourish. This development also puts Demerzel in an impossible situation. As a robot, she is theoretically immune to the Mule's psychic influence, but her primary programming is to serve the Cleonic dynasty. If the Cleons are compromised, does she fight them? Does she try to correct them? Her struggle will be a fascinating counterpoint to Gaal's, a conflict between a pure logical program and the sheer illogical power of a psychic aberration. Finally, we must talk about the one person who may have seen this coming, but could do nothing about it. Hari Seldon himself. The trailer includes a gut-punch moment, a flickering, holographic image of Seldon, looking more worried than ever before, possibly communicating from beyond the grave or through the vault. His voice, or a close equivalent, is heard saying something like, "This was not in the equation," or "a crisis of this magnitude I did not foresee." This is the show's acknowledgement that the plan, however perfect, was not divine and was subject to the intrusion of the truly unique. This failure, this blind spot, is what makes the Mule terrifying and what makes Season 3 so compelling. It turns psychohistory, which was previously a story about prediction and control, into a story about adaptation and hope. It's the moment the human factor, the unpredictable, emotional, singular genius, overrides the scientific model. The Foundation has to move past relying on Seldon's pre-recorded instructions and start writing their own future. The trailer is a promise that Season 3 will not be a continuation of the chess game. It will be a complete destruction of the board, forcing every major player, from the clones to the Mentalics, to fight for survival in a universe that has suddenly become terrifyingly random. The ultimate fate of the galaxy now rests on whether Gaal, Salvor, and maybe even a compromised empire can find a way to defeat a foe who fights not with ships, but with the subtle, devastating power of the mind, a power that Hari Seldon, for all his genius, utterly failed to account for. The core dramatic tension of Foundation Season 3, as brutally laid bare by the trailer's deep psychological scars, revolves entirely around the cosmic collision between Gaal Dornick's nascent mentalic power and the full-throttle, reality-warping might of the Mule. This is not a battle of armies. It's a terrifying war fought on the plane of thought, and the footage suggests Gaal is being overwhelmed before the first real shot is fired. We see her often isolated, struggling to maintain mental composure, suggesting the Mule's very existence creates a psychic noise, a perpetual, deafening static that is disrupting her own abilities and her connection to Hari Seldon's residual consciousness. Her ability to read minds and predict short-term futures, which was her unique strength, is now her greatest vulnerability, turning her into a massive psychic target. The trailer flashes show Gaal standing amidst desolate ruins, perhaps the remnants of the Second Foundation's early settlement, perhaps a vision of Terminus after the Mule has passed through. And these visions are not just prophetic, they are psychically imposed, like the Mule is broadcasting his victory into her mind to break her will. The question the season must answer is whether Gaal's untrained, instinctive mentalism can rapidly evolve into a defensive and offensive weapon capable of engaging a genetic anomaly who has likely been honing his power for years. She has been running from her destiny. Now the galaxy's destiny depends on her embracing this dangerous gift. Meanwhile, Salvor Hardin,